Hello, and welcome to the nonprofit world, where we highlight organizations and individuals passionate about empowering people to make a difference in the lives of others. I'm Paula Sorrells-Bean, your host for today's program. And I'm excited today because we're going to talk about something a little bit different, and that is the joy of retirement. And I have with me today two lovely ladies who are going to share some of their stories and some of the things that they have done since retirement. One of those ladies is Nancy Dillon, and Nancy has worked with pets and plants over the years, and so we're going to talk with her a little bit more about that. And then I also have Joan Bruce with us, and she worked for the airlines for several years and until she retired. So Nancy, I'm just excited to hear from you about how you have taken what you did with plants and pets into your retirement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I worked in the plant department at a retail store. Okay. So I got to tell quite a few people about plants and how to grow them. I like vegetables best. So then as I retired and found out at the community that I'm in that they had plants that got delivered and never cared for. Nobody watered them, nobody took care of them. So this year the plants came in, and I made it my mission to make sure they got watered and trimmed and taken care of.
That's wonderful.
And I spend quite a bit of time doing that.
Great. That sounds wonderful. Great way to spend your day.
Yeah. Outside.
Outside, yes, absolutely. That's wonderful. Yeah. And Joan, you worked for an airline.
Yes, I did.
And what did you do for the airline?
Actually, I worked inside. I didn't work inside the plane, but I was outside and did a lot of the paperwork and things like that on Long Island. And actually, it was in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And enjoyed it. Got a lot of free rides.
And did you take some good trips and fun trips on those free rides?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Wonderful. Can you tell us about some of the places where you've traveled?
Well, here was one of them, in Florida and here in this area. And then we would go anywhere we felt like going because it was free.
Okay.
And the only thing we had to do was stand by to make sure that there was enough seats for us to, otherwise we'd be sitting there until the next trip came through.
Right.
But it was worth it.
Great. Did you travel around the world? Or
No, never did that.
Just mostly in the United States?
In the United States,
okay.
Yes.
There's plenty of places to see in the United States.
Yeah, my husband and I really enjoyed it because the children were older and we did a lot of traveling and saw a lot of things we never thought we'd see. But it's very good.
Now, did you get to enjoy some of that in your retarement?
Yes, in the retirement.
Great.
Anything else, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But,
wonderful.
Don't regret it.
That's great. That's great. It's wonderful to be able to have that time to travel.
It is, and I met such great people. Might be because I talk a lot, and they're sort of forced into it after a while.
You engage people. I like to put it that way instead of just saying you talk a lot.
I like people, and I think this makes me very uncomfortable if I'm sitting and not talking
and
to
not
somebody.
Talking. Yeah, I understand that. Nancy, you have brought some of your handiwork with you here today, and I would love for you to share with us how you got started making these precious little critters.
Well, it started only a couple of years ago when my daughter gave me a book for Christmas, and it was Knit Your Own Cat. So I didn't even bring one of the cats that came from that book, but I started knitting animals and critters. So I knitted a horse, and then this, a child's dog. He's supposed to be a sheepdog, if anyone recognizes him. And this is, I guess we could say, a replica of a cat that belonged to my grandchildren. and they wanted to remember their cat. And I have an odd hobby of saving cats' whiskers when they shed them. So this little cat is in the same colors and wearing the exact whiskers that came from the original cat. So that is the story of my critters.
And this was for your grandchildren,
My
right? The cat, and
grandchildren.
they've not yet seen
They have
the
not yet
cat.
seen it. They will be here this week visiting, and they will be presented with their keepsake.
That's going to be a precious time.
Yes.
Precious time.
Definitely.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So the book is what inspired you then to begin to do the knitting.
Yes, I had knitted before, clothing, sweaters, vests, but hadn't got into knitting animals. And that is now my passion, of knitting animals and taking care of plants.
That's wonderful.
And growing a garden.
I love that. It's nice to have some fun things and some things that not only keep you busy, but just allow you to just engage in the things that are going on around you.
Yes.
I think that's wonderful.
And actually, we have started a knitting group at the retirement home.
Okay.
And a few people come and bring their handwork, and we sit for an hour a week and knit together, which is a great way to share experiences.
That's fun.
And,
Do they knit animals also, or are they
No.
just knitting different things?
actually, the most active member is crocheting.
Okay.
It works.
That's right.
If it's your handiwork.
That's right. Plus, like you said, just doing it together, having that opportunity to be with others
Yes.
that are like-minded and just enjoying that time, that fellowship time together.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And Joan, you brought in a guitar with you.
That's your fault.
Blame it on me.
And my understanding from talking with you is that this was a gift that your father gave you
Yes.
when you were around 10 years old. So you've had this for a few years.
Oh, you never took a lesson either.
You never took a lesson, but now you enjoy using that guitar to just lighten up an evening or a daytime with some of the others that are in the retirement center where you live. Is that
I
correct?
usually don't do it with other people. I preserve them. I will do it by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, things
All
like
right. Would you like to share
Not
just
really. I don't think you
something?
would like it either. But
Well, we definitely would.
well,
We'd
I don't
love
know.
to hear
I-
something from you.
No, I don't know if you could. You know, 5'2", 5'2". No, that isn't it. Oh. She's turned up the nose and turned down hose, and when she got 'em good and so has anybody seen my gown?
I love it. Very good. Very good. That's great. That is so much fun. That's great. So the place where you both are living is an independent living retirement center, right?
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you do there? Are there activities for the residents?
Many.
Many activities.
Yes.
Okay.
We Bowling Club, and the bowling club goes out to other retirement, either senior centers or retirement communities, and there's quite a network of wee bowling clubs, and they get together and compete with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, what else do we do? There's
I don't do as much as you do.
exercise classes.
Exercise.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
There's an
Okay.
exercise class.
And when you say every day, are you talking Monday through Friday, or does it include the weekends
Actually,
too?
on the weekends, they give us a tape. We can watch it on television. But weekdays, it's the real thing.
It's got
It's
somebody
someone leading us
leading it,
into
okay.
exercise. Some of the classes are sit down.
Okay.
for those that have
All right,
trouble.
the sit-down
and-
exercises?
Yeah.
Chair exercises,
Yes,
they call them?
exactly.
Sure, those
Yeah.
are great.
And there was something else.
So they make sure that
Everyone moves.
can you show us any of the exercises, any of the things that you
Sure you can.
do?
Oh my gosh. One is a stand-up
me.
balance exercise. And all they do is they make you stand up, and you have to put one foot in front of the other, and then just hold that for 20 seconds.
Okay.
And that is very good
That's fun.
to help your balance.
Yeah. Any of the chair exercises that you remember, even if you may not do those yourself?
I do them kind of marching. Side, back, front, back, side, back. Same with the other leg.
Yeah.
Of course, stretching, look all the way to one side and look all the way to the other side.
And listen to the cracks. Crack, crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of that going
like
on.
a snap, crackle, pop.
Oh, and card games, many card games. Poker is a big one. Sometimes for money, sometimes not. We get, bingo? That's offered. Oh my gosh, bingo is almost nightly, isn't it?
Yeah, practically.
Yeah, a lot of that. And we have people that love Scrabble.
Okay. And so you have is the bingo also for money? Is that,
Yes.
Sometimes.
or you prizes,
yeah,
I guess, some kind of prizes?
Oh, and we have what is known as funny money. $1,000 bills. We get them. Oh, I have. We wear a great call.
Okay.
And this is the emergency help. I've fallen and I can't get up
Right.
thing.
Okay.
And so at lunch, certain days, if you're wearing that, you're rewarded with funny money.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
And what do you get to do with that funny money?
Every few months, they have an auction.
Okay.
And the auction usually involves things that we prize, like chocolate candies, handmade things, some bought things.
Okay.
I'm saving up for a microwave, but somebody always has more funny money than me. Maybe this time will be my lucky time.
So in your, with the independent living, you each have your own apartment or unit, and do you have a full kitchen? And
Some do, some
Okay.
don't.
All right.
But we all get like a kitchenette. We have studios, single bedroom, double bedroom. And there's 3 floors.
Okay.
We've got, I think,
We
what
don't
was it, 300 units? Maybe more. There's quite a few units.
Okay.
We have games and cards and stuff that we play during the day.
Yeah.
And hopefully for money, and hopefully you win, but usually, when someone
Especially
says,
if you're collecting money, right?
Yes.
they say, play just for fun, and I said, what? I come from New York. We don't play for fun. We play for money.
And then trips are there. We're taken to the casino,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
that's, once a month, I believe?
Yeah, once a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the community has its own bus. So they get us out to the different stores and the shopping malls.
We go to casinos. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Casino.
casinos
Yeah,
they
do
take
that.
us to.
Are there big groups that go to the casino?
Up to the bus, I think, is about 15 people or
Okay.
so. So the groups are not terribly big.
Not real big.
Yeah. But often enough that everybody gets a chance.
Oh, good. So what is your favorite thing, Nancy? What is your favorite activity to, like, during the week?
You might call me a hermit. knitting.
Okay.
It's my favorite activity.
All right. Well, I can understand, and you've got some beautiful work there. So
Yes.
yeah.
So I sit and knit.
Sit and knit,
Get
okay.
out and then go with the plants. And I have a couple of other people that help. I can still reach up and get the hanging basket down. And then I have some people, once they're down, that they can do some deadheading and clean them up, make them look pretty.
So you've engaged, not only have you stepped in to take care of the plants, but you've engaged others
Other
and
people.
invited them to come in and do
Yes.
the same thing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So there's several of
Yeah.
us that take care of them.
Yeah, it's great to have an activity, something that you love to do.
Yes.
And
It's,
and that's beneficial.
Yeah, that's what keeps you going. is
Absolutely.
to keep what you know how to do and how to do it, and even to be in your own place alone and working on something.
That's right.
It's
That's
better than the daily group where everybody is doing different things.
What is your favorite thing, Joan? Of the activities at the retirement center, what's your favorite thing to be involved in?
Well, it's usually any type of sports or athletics that they have going.
Okay.
But actually, where you're the most active, which is not an organized sport, is when you and your singing group get out on the porch during the summer.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That sounds like fun to me.
Yes, yes. We sort of get carried away occasionally, but we do love to sing the old songs.
Yeah.
Give my regards to Broadway.
Yeah. Yeah. Kid, do you have a favorite song you'd love to sing to us now?
No.
No? Well, you said no a while ago, too, and you did play your guitar for us.
There you go. No.
Yeah.
The guitar is better than my voice.
I don't know.
You need your backup singers to go with you.
No, we have a good time out there.
How many of you are there that actually do the...
Usually there's about 10, 11 people.
Wonderful.
And we all come from different areas, and we all know most of the old time songs, and we enjoy singing them. But it's fun to get out and sing.
That sounds like fun. I would love to come and listen to that. That would be fun.
And if somebody gets carried away and gets up, keep in mind with guns.
Yeah.
And you go back to your childhood,
What fun.
Yeah.
That's what I call the joy of retirement.
It's one thing to be old, and it's another thing to act old. And
You don't act
Absolutely.
old.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
it's
a little story that went with the singing is the manager of the place, his office looks onto the front porch where the singing goes on. And one day, everybody was singing, and he did a little recording of it. Later, he was visiting a friend who asked him, "How do you like your job?" He pulled out his phone, he played the recording of everyone singing, and said, "When you work in a place like that, it can't be bad."
That's a beautiful story. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's lots
Yeah.
of people that seem to think that when you go into a facility like we're in, and many of them are alone, that's it. They sit by themselves and knit maybe or something.
Yes, I knit.
But they don't participate, and they should, because there's so many great fun things to
Absolutely.
do. So
Absolutely.
we keep pushing.
Yeah.
Too old to push.
And that's a good thing to tell people who live, elderly people who live by themselves, who don't get out and enjoy life with other people.
They have their dinner and they go in the house. You hear the door slam, and that's it till
Yeah.
the next day, and that's not good.
No, life is really about, I think it's about engaging with other people and being with others and enjoying and singing and dancing and
Talking
doing
about your
plans together.
childhood. Talking
Exactly.
about this kind of stuff.
And sharing some of the fun things that you did when you were young and singing about
Yes.
Broadway and
Yes.
whatever else.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Quite a few people have come from, they've lost their spouse, and they're alone in a house. And finally, children or someone says, you really got to get out, and they come to us.
Yeah.
And it's like they blossom to have friends and people around.
Yeah, that's great. I have cousins that live in Houston, Texas, which is where I'm from, and they are around 90, 91, and they've actually been in a retirement community for several years. She's got some handicap issues, and he wanted to make sure that she was taken care of once something, if something were to happen to him. So they've been there, and it's been wonderful. And when I go to visit, we always go down to they have a restaurant there, which do you have that? Do you have a restaurant in your place? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so, you asked, what do we like best?
Yes.
No more grocery shopping.
Is that right? So even though you have your own kitchens or kitchenette, you still have a place where you can go. Do they feed you 3 meals a day?
3 meals a day, yes.
Meals a day.
That's wonderful.
And no, it's a big asset. We have lots of games that you can do. You enjoy doing them. And they have times they'll take you to the casino to gamble or something like that.
Yeah.
Really raunchy.
Yeah.
No, they take good care of us.
That's wonderful.
I don't feel like an old lady because there's lots of people that I enjoy it because people are from all over the country.
All over us.
And, I never realized that when you come from a place like Long Island or New York, you are a little different. Other women are far more reserved, I think. And occasionally I'll come up with the wrong thing, like old something. Oops. And they'll be,
So where are some of the places that the folks are from, where you live?
mainly around where we are.
A lot of here.
Yeah. A lot
Okay.
are right there.
But scattering from California, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people that have come up here, lived up here from other places, and then they've just, now
Have
that they're at
ties
retirement
for one
age.
reason or another.
Yeah, and usually they're with their husbands or wives, and then one passes away and the other stays, and it's like home. It's a good place.
But like yours, a lot of couples come in for just exactly that reason. One is failing and the other one needs a little support.
Right.
Yeah, there's lots of pushing going around. A lot of people need to be, taken care of.
This
is father.
Walkers and wheelchairs.
Walkers,
Right.
The first joke I got was one of the fellows, it was a son of a resident. He said, "Have you met my mother?" And so I said, "No." He said, "Well, let me describe her. She's got gray hair and she uses a walker." I said, "Okay, that's half the residents."
Half of the residents you've got right there. Yeah.
Well, it's right to have that sense of humor, isn't it?
Oh yes.
It makes you feel very fortunate that you're still walking.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That is just wonderful.
Right.
So, if looking back at your lives, if there was one thing that you could do over or one thing that you could do differently, what would that be? Joan, you want to start with that?
I would go to college.
You would go to college, okay.
It was the thing that I not really wanted to do. I was young. I wanted to get married and have kids. But now, I wish that I had.
Looking back at it, yeah. So you got married, did you get married young?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't that young.
All right, yeah.
But I had 2 kids.
Okay,
And,
2 children.
They took up a lot of my time.
Can you speak up just a tiny
I
bit more?
said they took up a lot of time.
Your children?
Yeah, my youngest son was handicapped. So
Okay.
I was working with him a lot.
Okay.
And we lived on Long Island. And my husband worked for the airlines. And we all used to get to fly and go all over the place.
Yeah.
But all in all, I had a pretty good life.
Okay,
And
great.
that's because you have to make it. You have to make it yourself. Nobody's going to make it for you.
That's right.
And,
Did you work when your children were young, or did you wait till they were older before you began working?
Well, I started to work a little bit when they were, no, not when they were very young, but they got older. And my husband was working with the airlines, and he was coming and going, and I didn't want to leave them alone.
Right.
So actually, I did work, but I worked for about 2 or 3 years, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I really like getting out to work.
Yeah. So had you gone to college, what do you think you would have studied?
Probably, I've thought about that a couple of times. Sports and activities.
Okay.
That type of.
So you're active.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was in school. And all
Okay.
over, yeah. And I often wondered, because the opportunity was there, but I was young.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, found a nice boyfriend. We had a lot of friends. We did a lot of things. Who wants to go to school again?
That's right. Yeah.
And that was a big mistake. Big mistake.
Nancy, how about you? What if you could do something over, or do something that or is there something that you wish you had done that you didn't do?
To spend more time with my children as they were growing up. That I work part-time, but seeing how my children are parents, I wish I had that knowledge and had been able to use it back then.
It's amazing, isn't it? But you probably did a lot better job than you think you did.
I hope I did.
Yeah. Well, if they're raising their own children and you think they're doing a good job, then I would say you probably did a pretty good job yourself.
Fantastic job.
Yeah. How many children do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3,
Yeah.
and they have children. So how many?
2 of them have children,
2 of
and I
them.
have 5 grandchildren.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a nice number of grandchildren. Not too many.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
right.
Just perfect. Yeah.
And
That's
they're
wonderful.
fun. And it's the part that I loved when you had your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren.
Yeah.
And they would come to our house where we had a pool, a swimming pool, and we had swimming contests and games going on. I miss that time. I miss it a lot.